And we're back. The broadcast, what do you call that? I won't call it artificial insemination.
Some people call it the real deal, Holyfield.
You like
the
ears?
truth? I call it the truth. That's what we're flinging the truth.
Oh, are you one of those poop flingers?
Well, if that poop is true, so
he's
there
a
you
hope
go.
dealer.
Okay, I can respect that.
I'm a flinger.
I don't want to go into hope yet. Yeah, that's its own thing. But I want to start off real fast because usually it's kind of slow. We have a lot of stamina over here. What we want to do though first, hey, you guys seen that new horror flick that everybody has said is one of the best horror flicks of Session?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the...
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline
What
to
color is
answer.
the carpet?
What color is the
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
The dude should have just bought a little sound box with that recorded, and he could have just kept hitting the button. It would have been much easier.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
So, host, I have
just
not seen the movie yet, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, well, the main theme about that is the wishing willow. The make the wish. That's the theme.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the movie, but that concept that you can make a wish. One thing that I'm going to play a clip from OpenAI CEO. Everybody knows Sam Altman, but one thing nobody has really talked about outside of Kurzweil, Ray Kurzweil, which this was a long time ago, was talking about the singularity, is can AI become a wishing willow? Will it become a genie where you can ask it something and it will grant your wish? Like you always hear the ideas that AI is going to take over the world as in production, as in services, as in tasks. But who's talking about it like a genie? Like, I want something. But ultimately, that's actually what it is, isn't it? I want a hamburger. Well, then you start thinking, so they're going to make automated robots. The automated robots will make me a hamburger. Oh, it will make me a hamburger. I want $1 million. AI agents will create a business. And so ultimately, nobody's saying that, but really, it's going to be a genie, and that's what Sam Altman really wants you to think about with AI.
One, we are close to creating a genie that can grant any wish. Number two, we are going to make sure that our first wishes broadly benefit humanity, and that we kind of get the world to a place where a lot more people get to have a lot more wishes. And number three, the space of what you can wish for is incredibly big and creative, and it'll be quite exciting to figure that out with real sort of human values and preferences. But I think there's a fourth thing too, which is you start making these wishes, the computer grants them, and then you're like, I didn't think that was gonna work.
Yeah.
What now? It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's just like the problem where people spent 100 years trying to disprove some Jacobian, this thing, and then some guy just Claude, and it was I don't know, within a few days or something like this.
So I think there's gonna be lots of great jobs in the future. I really do. I think we're gonna have lots of intellectual fulfillment, and I think most jobs are going to adapt more than it seems like they should. But math, I think, is a very important example of something for us to study very closely right now, of something that may not go that way. In fact, I would say probably won't go that way.
Are you guys ready to make a wish?
Well, there's already people doing this, and they've been doing this for centuries, millennia.
Yeah, but see, everybody's not getting their wish here. It seems like maybe just one.
Yeah, the people touching the prophet's feet. There was another prophet I saw, which you guys probably saw too, who told a guy, a youth guy, to eat. He ripped a page out of the Bible and forced this boy to eat it, and told him, if you do, you'll become a millionaire. There's another guy who promised a woman that she'd become a millionaire. He prophesied that she'd become a millionaire. This prophet, if you touch his feet, you'll become a millionaire. Minus this little boy, I guess. He gets shooed away. But you can tell. You can tell by this guy's dance moves. This guy's the real deal, Holyfield. Look at this guy's. Look at that. Look at the craftsmanship. Nobody can do that chicken dance better than this prophet.
Is that like Prophet Rick Ross?
I think that's Prophet. I don't know if he has a name, but I tried looking him up. I couldn't find anything on him, so the guy's a ghost. It's like trying to find John the Baptist or something, or the great Isaiah,
or Little Wayne,
or Big Wayne. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Trying to find somebody.
Any of the what's fascinating about
Bruce Wayne?
It's Wayne's World.
The thing is, like prophets. I mean, this is a good gig because he didn't say when they would become millionaires. He just said, you will become a millionaire. And I guarantee that either for some fluke, they will become millionaires. And then they could say, oh, the prophet was right. Or they'll die. And who's going to come back and after you're dead, who's going to come back and get you, right? So he's really got a good gig.
Even if someone did come back from the dead, they wouldn't believe them. So what are you going to do? People are already making wishes. Sam Altman's just finally coming around, I guess. Lo and behold.
Well, I was thinking about the movie. You know, when you watch the movie Obsession, the idea is that old cliche about genies. Mm-hmm. When you wish something, unless you're very specific,
you got to be very specific. Yep.
You're going to get it, just not in a way that becomes applicable. And that's what I was more thinking. It's like, if everybody has a genie and everybody's wishing, I think this becomes even more of the genie paradox. Because if everybody's wishing for $1 million, everybody might get it, but then inflation is real and your $1 million is only worth like $10 now. So the problem is, if you have one person with a genie, there might be chances that could happen if you're really good at articulating your wish. But if everybody has a genie, it's probably going to be even more problematic. And that's one thing that because I agree with Sam Altman. If the progression of AI and automation and robotics continues on, it will become more like a genie. You ask the computer something, and it can manifest that. The problem becomes old quandary of supply and demand.
Yeah.
You have too many demands of wishes and not enough supply. And you're not going to be able to fix that problem. Now what happens is you're going to have to restrict accessibility to wishes. Everybody can't wish the same and the same thing. And you're not going to be able to fix this. So I thought it was interesting because imagine if you wished what that guy in the movie did. I want that girl to love me more than anybody else in the world. How would AI do that? And assume that it could. Now, what if everybody, like today, what's one of the biggest problems? People finding a mate, right? A lot of these guys are having a hard time finding girls. So what do you think one of the first wishes that they will make will probably be one of these cliche wishes? Can you do that for me? Now, so there's an infinite supply for that, though. Give them AI girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
And so, this is where I think you fix the supply issue by creating artificial resources. And so that's how you fix, because I was trying to think, you can't do it physically, but you can do it all digitally. So when the money's digital, The reality's digital. Everything's augmented. Maybe it's possible that people could really all get their wishes. It just now has to be in a digital format. And then it leaves all the resources for all the elites to do whatever they want. But that is the progressional dream. He's selling you. He's not telling him he's going to get his wishes because he already got his wish. He's telling you, you can get your wish. And I don't think he's lying. It's just like the paradox, though. It's just not the way that you thought it was. So that's what's coming. Are you excited to get your genie?
I'm thinking, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the leftist people. Not saying I'm a rightist person or leftist. I'm just saying if I'm going to imagine myself as like an extreme leftist, like take The View, for example, the show. They want something that if they actually got it, like you said, there'd be a cost. Do you really want what you're wishing for? Somebody put an AI video together. It sucks that it's not real, but I'll play it now. I think you guys will get a kick out of it.
You cannot wipe us out, whether we're gay, straight, Asian, black, female. You're not going to be able to get rid of us. We are here. We are Americans.
Well, I don't think anyone is trying to wipe your liberal coalition. You're chemically castrating yourselves. You are the party of abortion, and you're having less kids while conservatives are having more. So you're wiping yourselves out. And I would say more power to you. You're abiding your choice.
What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people.
See, that'd be great if somebody actually said that on their show, but that didn't actually happen. But it's another prime example. Is like, is this what you really want? Like they're the people, the same people that are playing this game. They're claiming that everybody's trying to kill them. They're the ones killing themselves. Everybody on the other side is actually trying to preserve life, including their life. And these people are the ones, the victims are punching themselves in the face and then claiming to be the victim while still punching themselves in the face. And everybody else is trying to stop them from punching themselves in the face. So their wish, if they got their wish, they would cease to exist.
Yeah, I think it's the old quandary of get all you can all you get, and sit on the can. That's the problem. You want individuality so much, you're actually, like he said, you're killing yourself off. There's no such thing as extreme individuality and expansion.
When I was younger, I think we all used to do it. We all used to do the same thing, just like them. Like you said, we're all trees, and we're consuming our own fruits. And some of us even consuming our own seeds in the fruit. Right. But it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't grow at all. You'll never see any kind of growth, not the kind of growth that you're looking for.
Right, because, when the birds come and they get some of that fruit, they're able to spread the seed. But when you're eating your own, you're cannibalizing.
Yep. But sometimes, you can't. At some point, you need to let the fruit fall on the ground. You need to let the seed fall on the ground. You can't let the weeds choke it out, because if the weeds choke out the seed, then you lose.
Right, and I think this is Poplar's paradox. This is so silly. It's so silly.
A poplar is a tree too.
Poppy.
Poplar. That's a type of wood.
Oh yeah, it's a type of wood.
Poplar,
Yeah. So it is indefinitely. Yeah. In every which way you look at it.
I think it's a inferiority and a fear complex. You're so scared that you try to protect yourself so much that you try to isolate, but it's not a real thing. It's self-cannibalization. You have to also give room for the things you don't like, because those things ultimately is a means to expand. But
you have to let other people enjoy your fruits.
Yeah, even the ones you don't like.
Even the low-hanging ones.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a tree can't be discriminative of the birds that build nests in its tree. That the thing that it survives on is the idea of spreading it. But yeah, and it's a fear complex. They're just afraid. But that's the demise of their own people group.
I wish everybody felt that.
Another thing about sharing the goods and feeling it. Something I don't know that if America's ready for is robot.
You said you don't know if America prayed for?
Well, that too, but I don't think they're ready for.
Oh, okay.
Is robot suits for humans, specifically for food delivery people. I'm just going to play it and then we'll talk about it. Whatever.
Drivers in China wearing these insane robotic suits. These things literally let them run up to 50 kilometers per hour. See, in China, food delivery is basically a competitive sport. It's so hard to even get a delivery assigned to you that drivers are constantly swiping on their phones nonstop just to try and grab a single order before someone else does. And once they finally get one, they have to be fast, because the faster they deliver, the more orders they can take, and the more money they make. So they've started wearing these robotic exoskeleton suits that boost their speed and take the strain off their legs, letting them run for hours without getting tired or sitting in traffic.
See, I don't know if America's ready for that.
Wow.
That is cool.
The food, though, looked like it was getting shaken up on the guy's backpack. So.
Hey,
Well, you gotta be careful what you order.
As long as it gets there. But them jokers looked like he was delivering like for a whole colony. Like, Joker had like 4 basket stacks.
Yeah, that's probably going to one house.
Yeah, probably.
To one person specifically.
Or one area, like what if it's a big complex?
Might be illegal.
A housing complex, and you happen to grab a couple orders. It's
Can you
convenient,
imagine
right?
though that robot went into it went into the restaurant and everybody, it's not strange. Like they're actually moving out of the way.
These things literally let them run up.
Like, this
I think it's awesome.
They're not even freaked out. They're just like, oh, you just move out of the way.
I feel like they should have fights with those things on.
Well, they do. they have those, but those are robots. I don't know if people are ready, but
no, those weren't robots. Those are people in the suits.
yeah, I know, but they have robots that
it's
fight.
an exoskeleton, basically, which enhances their ability to do things, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I mean,
can you imagine if that was in America?
I hope it does.
I mean, that's like people freak out about open carry. That's an open suit. Like that's probably more. You have more accessibility to do something with that suit than you probably do with a gun.
I
mean, you only got so many bullets. Like that thing can keep it on.
Yeah, but
it's only as far as the human inside of it is capable of. It's an augmentation. It's not a replacement.
But we saw last week they have those bulletproof robots. What if they have a bulletproof exoskeleton?
Well, you could still wind up with glass in your face. Safe light repair, safe light replace.
Glass in your eye.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I saw that and I was like, wow. You can't say that China isn't doing things different than America. Like there's things that we just don't know about over here.
I'll tell you what we are doing in America.
Yes, I married my brother. Yes, we have 2 kids together. No, it is not incest because we don't think it is. We simply just don't think it is. And we are going to continue to stay together and married because we've been this way for years. So what is the point on changing it up? Our kids already know. They are also really young, so they don't know any different. Okay, so we're not going to change things up now because they are so young. Also, like, what's the point? Why would we want to change it up just because of blood? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it really changes anything. We know each other's medical history, which is great. We literally keep it in the family. That's literally what we're doing. We don't have to change our partners. Like, why change partners when you already have one that you know? And it's just, I don't know. It's so much easier to not change our situation just because we want to make other people happy, you know?
I got
that's what we're doing here in America.
Yeah, I got two thoughts. First, of course, which is obvious, it's illegal. First thing.
Oh, that's an important one.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's first. Second, precedent, right? I'm always concerned about any idea. I look at precedent. The justification here is because I feel I am justified. That's the precedent you set. The whole thing is because I feel.
Yep.
So you have children, you said. Well, so if they feel they want to marry, or if you want to have pedophilic relations because you feel. The idea of a feel makes justification is a precedent that you don't want to assess as a cultural normality anywhere.
But I think the precedent of the United States can't control everybody.
No, but these robot exoskeletons should be able to. It's like,
So what's the issue?
There's a lot of people that feel a lot of things, and you should never set a precedent that feeling is the normality of a society.
Well, you elected them, so
I didn't elect those
precedents.
Blue bloods.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know what color their blood is, but yeah, at least you can take solace in the fact that it's the same.
I just don't understand why anybody believes anything of that sort. Like, my grounding is my feeling. Again, I think that's just
a dangerous thing.
That's the indoctrination of individuality. And once that happens, then everybody suffers. Because, we said this, but I think colleagues probably said this on live many times. Take an example of a murderer or a psychopath or something, and they say, I feel like killing is justified. Or I feel like, you don't want to assess that feelings are a justifier because everybody feels something, and because you don't like it, it don't matter. I feel this, and now it's justified, so I am going to do this. You don't want to have a society because of people's feelings.
Right, but we already do have a society based, the principles, sociological principles based on people's feelings, and they're very one-sided. People say, well, they feel if you say something, X, Y, and Z, it's offensive, so you shouldn't say it. And if you continue to say it, you should be silenced. Well, that's a dangerous thing because, you could say anything is offensive, and if the mass of people agree, then they become a force, and they can then find ways of enforcing that.
And they'll lay you out on your back.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think laws in society should always be pushing towards advancement for the society. That's what laws should be doing. I think this goes all the way back as far as we can think about laws. The idea that laws was ever created for individuals and individuals' feelings, that's a new concept. Like, it's just not, there's no society that's ever succeeded because they allowed individual feelings to justify laws. And unfortunately, the more you accept that, that's hyper individuality, and that's everybody's a king. Every human becomes a king. Now it's just going to be who has the biggest stick.
But here soon, we're all going to have a genie.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Now the problem is you can be a king in a digital world, right? That's fine because it's the epitome of solipsism. You're the only real person and everybody else is fake. Like, that's fine. Like, you could be a king in that world because everybody else is an NPC. But if everybody else is actually a real person, there's going to be another person that comes along and smash you.
Yeah.
You don't want individual law. So I just don't even. The reason I say
sometimes justice just handles itself.
Yo, what the? Hiya. Who are you? Who am I? I'm the guy you stole that package from. What are you talking about? Caught you on my doorbell camera. Walked right up to my porch and took my package. That's not very nice. Okay, look, I can explain. I didn't mean to... Too late for all that now. Why don't you go ahead and open it, since you're so eager to take what's not yours? Baby oil? Oh dear. You're gonna learn today. Hey, look, I'm sorry. You can actually take it back. Oh no, keep it. You're gonna need it for what happens next. You take something from me. Well, I'ma take something from you. Ain't no party like a goofy party.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes these things have a way of working themselves out. So you can be as individualistic as you want, and you can wind up in a goofy party.
No, I was just imitating that young man in that video.
I don't think people realize that. I don't, and again, this is hard to talk about because this is like, I have a hard time with the idea of common sense because common sense isn't what it used to be. Common sense used to be a very collective idea. I appreciate that. But when common sense today, it's this stupid stuff of perception is reality. It's so subjective. Like, I'm saying it's common sense, but what you're really saying is this is how I feel it should be. So you need to accept my common sense. There's no such thing as common sense. And this is what it's so difficult to talk about because it's like, that's common sense. At some point, there's going to be somebody somewhere, and you're going to reap what you sow at some point. But
I think it's like anything else in life. Everything falls under that bell curve. And there probably are still people that believe in common sense and exercise under the idea of common sense. But then you have a larger group of people that have no idea whatsoever.
Well, I hear it all the time. People say, oh, that's common sense. And I said, what's common sense? That I can do what I feel?
Yeah, people actually, again, lacking common sense. They actually believe that there is a party out there, like a Diddy party.
Yeah, if you do that volitionally, that's fine. But if you do that and it's consequential, now you're going to say, oh, no, I don't feel this. Well, you're about to feel it.
Well, there's another group of people, at least, that still lack common sense, I think. At least this guy does.
ये नारियल हिलने लगा है गुरुदेव नारियल हवा में उड़ चुका है
हर चीज का एक समय होता है
नहीं इस समय में ये स्टूडियो में अभी लाइव करके दिखा रहे हैं
अच्छा उड़ा दिया उन्होंने
हाँ
ये नारियल उड़ आपकी तरह ऊपर नीचे जो आपने चलाया था ऐसे पकड़ के भी दिखा दिया और यहाँ देखिए यहीं पे रोकूंगा हवा में यहीं स्टॉप एकदम रुक जाइए झूल जाइए प्रश्नों का उत्तर भी देगा ये क्या बात है
See, on this TV show, I don't know what Indian TV show this is, but this guy sucks. The captions say it best. He forgot.
Oh, Indians Got Talent.
Yeah, probably. This guy was probably on the space program that sent them to space. This guy's not buying it back here. He looks very wealthy, though. Actually, this guy looks pretty wealthy,
too. He can see the
too.
string, that's why.
Yeah. I mean, the jig was up before it was even down. What are we supposed to? Where's the common sense?
But magic has layers, and maybe that's tiers of acceptance. So they,
I believe in magic in a young girl's heart.
there's tiers to this stuff. There's levels.
Yes, many tears have been shed.
Well, I'm saying, you showed the guy on 4K. This guy was in 2K because he's doing it out in public. So, I mean, if you wanted to play the game, at least do it out in public.
Yeah, but that guy looked like he was in the UK.
Yeah.
It looked like he had 1K video quality. You don't know what kind of strings were attached to any
Yeah,
of
I
the
know.
stuff.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to do it,
Yeah, don't do it with that kind of camera that can pick up strings.
yeah, they'll do it in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, lacking common sense is like you just made yourself a mockery. You could have taken this off the air, but you'd keep it up on the air. I don't understand that. And we're still claiming we went places.
I mean, that's what I was going to ask. What do you think causes
Putting
people
on
to
airs.
do this?
Huh?
What do you think? And I get why the guy in 1K did it. Like he's like it's almost like a prank thing. But the guy in India, what do you think causes people to do that?
Ignorance. Not just any ignorance. It's a willful ignorance. It's like there is no excuse for you anymore. There's the internet. You're on the internet, so you can't say, I don't know about the internet, like some Karen or something. No, you know about the internet. You know about it. And you still are refusing to learn. That's wild to me.
I think it's lust for power.
They're going to find out.
Well, also I think some of it has to do with the society. Because, you're only going to get as popular as you can sell it to your people. And, it's tough if, I don't know, I don't want to go down that road too much, but it's tough because the people that you're performing have to also buy it. But another thing dealing with robots, see, what I showed in the beginning was humans using robots. What about robots using humans?
Is it possible?
Soon, and that's you can change that anytime you want. You can put whatever mask you want on. So you're going to have humans wearing robots, and you're going to have robots wearing humans.
Yeah, I feel like that was an old video too.
It was.
Yeah.
Of
Especially
course
when they start growing skin.
Yeah, they got better ones now, of course. But that's what I'm saying.
Skin.
It's getting pretty cool.
Yeah, they have. They came out with a newer model a while back. They called it Zuckerberg or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Was it the T1000?
No, it's the Zuck 1000.
Yeah, Zuck on.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure that those exoskeletons. I don't know if they quite count as robots, though. I mean, the human is in full control of it. It's just augmenting the human's movements and, it's just basically giving them a boost in terms of mobility and probably strength.
Well, just think about it. You replace the robot's central processing unit digitally, and it's just now taking on a human as a central processing unit. So the human now is just controlling the robot. Instead of the robot controlling the robot.
But if we take it from Iron Man, it's basically Iron Man. Mm-hmm. It's not called Iron Robot. It's called Iron Man.
But it's a robotic suit.
Yeah, but it's worn by a man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Men are wearing robotic stuff, and then robots are wearing human stuff.
Yeah, but the
I
robot.
guess you really have to define robot.
Yeah, because the robot will never know what it means to put bread on the table. Or
I think Elder's just really wanting to keep humans.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think all humans want that. I think Elder speaks for the whole country.
Oh, you're not welcoming your transhuman overlords?
No.
Not yet.
If they're aliens,
one day
it's
we will.
okay, but no transhumans.
Yeah.
No mutants, no Homo superior, no.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because like I was saying, robots, they'll never know what it means to know a woman.
I mean, everybody wants a superpower.
And some people have them.
But you don't want to be transhuman.
That's okay.
Well, then how are you going to get your superpower?
Bioengineering, biohacking.
Yeah, through transhumanism, integrating technology into the human.
Yeah, maybe we have some nanites or something.
Nanites?
Oh, the old nanites. Yeah.
Carbites? I got a bunch of bites. Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is everybody wants a superpower. You're going to have to get interconnected. Like, I'm fine. I don't need
I hate to quote Syndrome here, okay, but you've really left me no choice. But when everybody's super, then no one will be.
Well, think about it. If, they want to fix the AI data center stuff, if everybody had a brain chip in their head, we could just be a data center. Our brains are already processing as the speed of a supercomputer, or faster, of course, and it only uses 30 watts of power. If they could just interconnect all this to the cloud somehow, we literally could just be the data center.
So what you're saying is I should get a tattoo on my forehead that says "this space for rent."
Yeah, you opened up a market there.
Yeah, I was thinking something more along the lines of like 666 or Mark of the Beast or something that fits better with AI technology.
Is that how much
like
you're charging? $666?
No, it'd be probably more steep than that.
Well, you could charge like $660 a minute.
We'd have to charge a very, very, very shiny penny.
Yeah, I mean, but I think people would if they got paid enough, right?
We don't get paid in pennies anymore, so...
Well, you get paid in wishes.
You get paid pennies, but not in pennies.
Well, I'm saying you get paid in wishes.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have 34 wishes left this month.
No, you only get one wish a month. And you got to be wise then. It's just like money. If you got paid every day, you wouldn't be wise with your money because you spend it every day. But
that'd be my wish, is to make me wise with money.
But if you got paid one lump sum every month, you would learn how to spread out your money. If you got one wish a month, you'd make a better wish.
Yeah, like how to spread out my money.
Well, yeah, or how to use your one wish every month.
Yeah.
It's an idea. I'm shocked that they're not just trying to, because, we already showed that they're trying to get data centers in homes. And it's like, why don't you just get people to be data centers? I think people would do it if you just tap into the cloud, right? That's all you got to do is connect to the cloud.
Some people are already putting in, what were you going to say, Elder?
No, I was going to say there's probably a lot of people that would be against that kind of thing. I'm not saying, again, looking at the old bell curve, there's probably folks that are on one end that would definitely welcome it and think it's awesome, but I don't know. I think we're probably looking closer to the center of that bell curve for people that would be uncomfortable with it.
What if it was like only it was tapped into the part of your brain that are not, you're not. It's they do a CAT scan and they do a brain scan and they see what parts of the brain are not being used much by you, because every human, they use different parts of the brain more than other parts. And they tap into the parts that are not used as much by you on a normal basis. So it's almost like you wouldn't even notice it. Like, of course, you probably feel more strain and more energy used because it's the brain, but it's nothing that you normally did. And they just do that to every human. They would tap the maxims of all human brain usages, but it wouldn't actually be more than what you felt normally outside of just more energy calories. And they just tapped into that, and people got paid in wishes.
I don't know. Maybe it's already happening. Maybe it's already happening in the video game.
Surprise. Daddy! Oh my god!
How are you, babe? Hey, Toshi.
Hey, it's Dad.
Hey, sport.
I thought you weren't due back home until January.
Yeah, the internet went out, so I'm back.
Addie, you need a shower.
Oh, yeah? I was over there for a long time, Pumpkin.
Over there?
Yeah, over there on the couch.
Well, dinner's ready, so why don't we all sit down?
Oh, that's great. Home cooked meal, babe. I've been living off rations way too long. Surprise.
Yeah, I think that's the inverse of what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't know.
People are willingly giving up their bodies to become data centers right now. Like you can't. That's a specific skill set.
Yeah, you're willingly training the games. Yeah, I don't know.
And they're training you. So then you can train them even better. And then they're training you. And then you are a parent-child relationship with this AI game interface.
You just become, they're just a parasite. Mm-hmm. And, it's a host-parasite relationship.
Yeah, the complexities of the Python interactiveness. Yeah, the subscripts of the data packages are growing exponentially with, like what Elder said, the bell curve. And eventually it's going to be rung.
Ring my bell.
That's the Liberty Bells ringing.
Yeah, we know the Liberty Bell's cracked.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so is the code.
Cracking the code.
There's always been a ghost in the machine, and it's about time that we succumb to that. Because
I've watched that anime. It's really good.
What's that?
Ghost in the Machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you can tell us all about it.
Well, I could. I see that would be a perfect segue where I would go, but let me show you. And then I hit a button and, it would show you Ghost in the Machine, but I can't do that. So I guess I will tell you.
I think
Japanese
host can spruce something up afterwards.
That's interesting. Ghost in the Machine it's an anime. I think it was a comic book first, and then they made it an animated series. And actually, they made it into a live action movie with Scarlett Johansson playing the main role. So you could look at any of that stuff up. Ghost in the Machine. Good stuff.
Like I said, when you know about coding as much as I do, it's hard to watch stuff about stuff like that because they get the main picture wrong so many times. And it's hard for me. It kills me to it's like you take a professional elite Air Force pilot. I'm talking like Top Dog, Top Gun.
The Top Gun, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the top dog of the Top Gun. Like we're talking the top god. And
the top.
Yeah. Okay, and they're over here watching Tom Cruise. And they're like, that's fake, that's fake, that's fake, that's fake, and the like. That's me watching stuff like Ghost in the Machine or The Matrix.
Yeah.
Watching stuff like Inception.
Yeah, that's
things
a good
that
one.
Some people perceive to be documentaries, but I'm like, hey,
Yeah, they're making a live action William Gibson's Neuromancer, which is they said that's the start of the whole cyberpunk movement. So Apple TV is going to make it. Is it Apple or Netflix? I forget. Maybe it's Netflix. I can't keep track.
Well, who do you
That should be
think?
interesting.
Who do you think gave Jobs the idea? Who do you think gave Job a job?
The Jobs job, Jobber the Hutt.
No, it's yours truly.
No kidding. That's fascinating. Could you tell us that story?
I would love to, but we have other things to get to, I think.
Yeah, I think we're a little short on time. Yeah, I understand. Maybe in the future.
People have been... What is he? I was waiting for a host to say something.
Oh, say something, host, say something. Bill Gates?
This is one of the craziest things. You know, you come down here to Louisiana, and you get to see the zombie gates, as I like to call them. That's right. During the zombie apocalypse, you want them on one side, and these gates closed, and you on the other. Look at that wall. How cool is that? Apocalyptic zombie gates. That's right. This is one of the crazy.
You know, that would be efficient, but it would have to go all the way. It can't just go like, 50 yards.
Well, it needs to at least stop traffic. So, yeah, if there's a forest, the forest is going to take the rest. You can't drive your car through a forest. So as long as you're stopping traffic. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think he's watched too much Walking Dead, but that's obviously just to stop traffic. And it is interesting because it makes you wonder, why do you need to stop traffic on these interstates? Now, I did a little research, and Google is saying that those are not zombie gates.
Huh.
Okay. It's not cake. And secondly, it's more for traffic control, which is obvious. And thirdly, it was saying things like it's for like construction. If they're doing highway repairs or something, they could block it off. But something doesn't sit right. That doesn't really settle right with me personally, because cops do that. All you need is 2 police officers to pull over block, put their lights on, block the 2 lanes. Bada bing, bada boom.
Or just like they usually do, is put concrete barriers.
Yeah, I don't know why you need to invest in such a large thing. That's pretty expensive. But
I think they might be floodgates.
Yeah, but it's not for water. It's not stopping water.
Yeah, because it would just go around.
Yeah, it's specifically for cars.
Well, how far though? I mean, it's maybe 50 yards.
I didn't get a good shot of it because he was driving by as he was taking a picture. But I had assumed that they come in from both sides. Let's see. Yeah, because there's a thing in the middle blocking the middle, and then
there does look like it goes pretty far that way. This way though, let's see. Look, this way. It's just a hill right there. So let's see. See that hill right there?
Yeah.
So if somebody took their car, they could drive up that hill and probably come back down on the other side of the gate.
I was thinking water, because I know Louisiana, I mean, that's one of the places that really has a problem with flooding. I was just wondering if it was some kind of flood control, to not let the entire highway to flood. They just close this and it kind of acts as a bit of a dam. I don't know. Yeah, but you wouldn't think you would need something so massive to just control traffic. I mean, they could have done something much less like opposing, Yeah,
I mean, if you're trying to keep water,
and why a wall?
Yeah, if you're trying to keep water off the roads, what you do is you dig out a huge ditch down the center here, which I know that's not very hard to do. You take a dozer, ditches over here, you make an irrigation system. This is what normal cities do. They simply elevate the roads above the water by making ditches on both sides of the roads. That's easy. And you go anywhere,
easy,
and that's
but not necessarily. It might have been easier to just build that thing than it would be to dig out maybe hundreds of miles of road. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's the way my brain works. I'm just, trying to think of why would you do something like that? ...
Well, you're trying to poke holes in the zombie apocalypse theory, and I don't like it.
I mean, it'd be an easy way for military restriction.
Yeah.
Like you just put people on top with guns, and that's going to be an instant barricade. And they might try to go around up the hill, but they can just get shot.
They're probably going to make Louisiana like Escape from New York. They're going to turn it into the national prison. They're just going to ship all the prisoners to Louisiana and let them loose.
This is just a starting point. They could add to that if they want. I mean, it's pretty big. But then again, I think there's more efficient ways to do it. That is kind of expensive and a large infrastructure, but
people in the comments are saying that it's floodgates.
Yeah.
Other people are saying that they're separating districts. Other people are saying that it couldn't be zombies. Zombies will never be a thing because zombies can't pay taxes. Which, that's something I never thought of.
Are you kidding me? Zombies have been paying taxes for years.
Well, no, zombies vote for presidents. Like, dead people come back and vote, but they don't pay taxes, unfortunately. Unless maybe you have something else in mind.
No, I may be misinformed. It's okay. Continue.
Well, I don't understand why, I'm not from Louisiana, but I have a hard time seeing how that works as a floodgate. It seems like the best thing to do is, maybe that would be a Band-Aid for that, but what they need to start doing is digging irrigation ditches on the sides of the road. That's what every other city does who have flooding problems. That's not hard to do. Just dig ditches. Elevate the road by making the area around the road lower. Or raise the road actually on the stilts like Denver does, but you don't need to do all that. That's really expensive and unnecessary. Just dig around it. I mean, yeah, it'll take some time, but I mean, with some tractors, it's not going to take too much time. They built the roads here somehow, and that took a lot of time. Somehow they were able to do that, but they couldn't figure out how to dig some ditches. But I don't know. I've been down south for many years, and they knew how to dig ditches. They didn't have problems like that. So I don't know. Louisiana maybe just need to, if that's a floodgate solution, that's kind of sad. I guess we'll say that. And it's a little sad because it destroys all of our cool theories.
I just always wonder why people are so interested or they want zombies. Like, I don't understand the fascination.
Oh, I can tell you that. It's a warlord fantasy. It's the idea that you can get your shotgun and your machine gun and your samurai sword, and you can go out there, and it's the one creature that you can kill without any kind of legal status. I mean, it's a plague, it's a creature, it's not human. So you can go out and mow them down, and it's completely fine. As a matter of fact, you'd be considered a hero or a savior if you're eliminating them. It's a fantasy.
Well, then why don't you just go into the military?
Because it's still frowned upon killing humans, even if the human is our quote enemy. You still have to pull the trigger and end a human life. There's certain trauma involved with that. Whereas if you pull the trigger and kill a zombie, you get a rush.
What if you knew that zombie was your mother?
Well, not as easy, but if you see what your mother has become, and she's a creeping, flesh-eating creature, you kind of have to do it as a mercy.
Yeah, but isn't that going to be trauma?
Yeah, but the thing is, most people don't, their family is kind of excluded, or their loved ones or whatever. If you drive into a major city and whatever, and you're trying to get to the supermarket to get the canned goods, and there's zombies there, and you're mowing them down, I don't see there being really any guilt.
Yeah, but isn't it the same thing? I mean, the projection in the military is it's not your mother, but every zombie is somebody's mother, somebody's child.
Yeah, but there's zombies. They're not human anymore.
So you then you shoot your own mother.
It's a delineation between ending a human life and ending a life that is no longer human. It's a creature. It's a sub. Yeah,
but
it's a
you
creature.
Still don't eradicate the trauma. Like if you saw your own child or your mother, you would still, even though they're a zombie, wouldn't you still feel the trauma of killing?
Oh yeah, sure, but the zombie fantasies normally don't involve that sort of closeness or intimacy. You're mowing down people that you don't know, you have no idea. And chances are, after they've gone through that process of becoming a zombie, you probably wouldn't recognize them anyway. I mean, come on, you've probably seen enough TV or movie shows with zombies in them to realize they just kind of degrade. And
I think that kind of fantasy just leads to psychopathic tendencies. Well,
I didn't say it wouldn't. You just asked me to explain. You asked me for an
that's
explanation.
Why it's kind of weird to think it's so widespread, because it's like of course you're trying to get rid of a threat, But the threat is now it still doesn't remove the human layer. You're trying to remove it by saying it's not human.
Well, I will add this to it. I think the majority of people who have that fantasy are role players who play tabletop role-playing games or possibly video games. So there's an element of non-humanness involved anyway, because you're substituting reality for a constructed fantasy. So, and truth be told, I probably 99.9% of the people that think this would be cool, if they were actually thrust into the situation, they would crumble like, 3-week-old bread. They would just fall apart. It's nice to have a fantasy of doing something like this as being the hero, but the truth of the matter is it would be a horrendous, stressful, difficult existence.
Yeah, most people don't understand what it means or feel to take a life.
Or even like hunting. I mean, obviously to feed the country, there are animals slaughtered every day in order for us to eat. But not many people have actually needed to, pull the trigger or, dispatched, the food otherwise. And I think it would be extremely traumatic and difficult for people to do that. And honestly, I think it's why many people become vegetarians, is because they don't want to be part of that brutality.
Well, I think people could probably hunt. I think it's the processing that's probably difficult for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. I think some people can hunt. Obviously, I think there's some people that would thrive in the zombie apocalypse. I'm not saying there isn't, but I think there's a big difference between thinking you could do something and then physically doing it. It's your brain, or what is it? Your brain or your mouth writing checks that your body can't cash.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess when I put myself in that, it's still, there's that human layer, even though they're a zombie. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. I just do think people, I guess it is. I guess it's some weird, I don't want to call it fantasy. That sounds really bad. I don't think you want to have a fantasy about, because zombies are still human at one point. I don't know if that, I want to call it
but they're post-human though. They're not human anymore.
Yeah,
there's something that
I don't want to ever dehumanize human.
I mean,
even if they got,
some type of virus, disease,
but think about the precedent. Again, this is always precedent. That means, think about the precedent. What if there's a bunch of people like COVID, and you're going to start throwing them on freezers, and we need to quarantine them, and we just need to kill them all, because now you just dehumanized humans.
Wasn't there a zombie movie about that? Like, people were being sent out. Military soldiers were being sent. Oh no, it was a Black Mirror episode. People were being stationed and then sent out to go kill zombies, and then they found out that they weren't the people that they were killing weren't actually zombies or infected, and they weren't monsters. They were actually real people, human beings. But because the soldiers had these things either on their eyes or in their head, can't remember. They all they saw was these monsters.
And it was augmented.
Right.
Yeah, their reality was augmented.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. But it's the same thing, because perception is these are those things.
And that could be a reality once these Google Meta glasses become more and more on everybody's faces. They're here soon. You're gonna have them on, and you're gonna see somebody have like this creepy look on their face. You're gonna take your glasses off and be like, oh, it's like on that movie. They live, yeah. Where you take your glasses off, and the glasses are going to convince you that person's actually an alien, or that person's actually some zombie or some demon or monster or whatever.
Yeah, so I just think it's again, I don't want to call something that dehumanizes people as a fantasy, but I mean, there is a layer of protection. Just like you don't have to be a zombie. If you infiltrate my livelihood, then I have a proclivity to preserve my life. But there's a difference between that and saying I did this because I don't think you're human, even though I know you were human. Because you can take that to the infection level. That's what they want to convince you. Quarantine camps are good. People have different values of life. We should think elderly people are maybe expendable. People with diseases are expendable. And
yeah, but should they get snubbed?
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point. That's their idea. You know, once you can make things that are in this category of subhuman, then you should feel like it's okay to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sort of like, the Jewish people during the Second World War in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. This goes back in all kinds of times in history, but I think it's just, I don't know. That's why it's always seemed strange to me. What is the big fantasy about zombies? But I guess that's what you're saying. It's some kind of warlord thing.
Yeah, and it could go even further. I know that there's been talk of people like excited for a civil war in the United States because, they're like, oh, yeah, I get to go out and be a soldier or whatever. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but they don't really want to tuck that thing.
That's not something you want to see. Obviously, not something you want to see.
If you
I don't want to see a zombie. I don't want to see a zombie invasion either. Honestly, I mean,
it's easy to shoot somebody. If you really want to feel it, make it personal. Go up there with a knife. It's like people. When you farther you pull away from a human, it's easier, right? Get real close. Get real personal. And that's. I just think it's strange that people want to associate dehumanization and think this should be an acceptable idea of a desire. It's like, yeah, go ahead, get real close. Go ahead, stab them right there in the chest. Feel their bodies start getting collapsing.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about real humans or zombies.
Well, it happened recently in the name of Akbar, the guy that started stabbing 3 women with those kitchen knives.
And, that's why we know, or we all believe, those people we associate as subhuman because they have crossed that barrier. But we want to elevate people that have these weird mowing down fantasies. I don't know. It's just another propaganda to make humans have no value, or we need to pick which humans have value.
Well, I don't know if they're being lifted, but they're certainly under the bell curve somewhere, no doubt.
If it's a fantasy, then that's being lifted up.
Well, it's their fantasy.
If there's a whole genre of people, like there's a whole group of people saying, I wish and I want this to be my fantasy, and there's a whole group of humans that believe that, then it's like we're trying to make a normality.
I don't think video games help that any at all, but I mean, I love the idea of video games. I can't play them anymore because of a physiological issue, but I love the video games. So, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to say they're bad, but I think they could influence people who maybe are a little on the susceptible side to be influenced.
To me, it's just like war. It's like if I had to kill somebody because I'm at war, I'll do it. But it's not like that's my fantasy. I feel like zombie would be the same thing. I know we were human, and I'm not going to disassociate that emotion, but I'll do it. But it's not going to be my fantasy. Anyways.
I don't know. Did you ever play like Army Men, or did you play war when you were a kid? I mean, I don't know with your background, but I mean, I did growing up in America here. Me and my friends, we were soldiers. We played Army.
Yeah, I had a different background. I didn't play toy soldiers, but it's each their own. It's just I don't think people really realize what they're asking for.
Well,
that's true. I agree.
While some people were playing with Legos, you were out there trying to get the blocks.
I'm just saying I don't think people really understand what they're asking for. That's probably why they have a fantasy.
Well, that's why I said they'd crumble if they were actually put in that situation. Yeah.
Every child thinks life is easy until they experience the trauma.
Amen. Oh, by the way, guys, I just looked it up just to close out a loop. Those gates in Louisiana are actually floodgates.
They are floodgates?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably what Louisiana is saying to justify the taxpayer dollars. But what do they really making it for. Like, it seems awfully strange to me that those gates don't show up anywhere except for the streets, and the street just so happens to be, you know, the perfect border area where they can block traffic in a perfect
Well, it's
spot.
not just
That's
the
awfully
streets.
coincidental.
It's actually the interstate, which is going to be the most highly
Well, the one
trafficked
that I saw
area
was
that
a
goes.
street. It was
That's like
an
a
actual street.
state-controlled thing.
Yeah, they're showing up in a lot of different areas, but it's always streets. Why are floodgates only on streets? Why aren't they everywhere else? Like in the areas, like everywhere, you'd see floodgates everywhere, like a big bath, like a boundary everywhere. Why is it only on streets? Like that one that guy was showing, it was just right there. It actually started at the street and then went down to the right a little bit far, but eventually it stops in the forest. So it's just cutting off the street access, which is interesting. It's like, you know, water doesn't just stay on streets; it goes everywhere. So why are we just focusing on blocking streets?
Hills are natural dams. They're natural floodgates.
So why not make some hills going away from the streets? So that way the water goes away from the streets.
Maybe it's a floodgate in the sense that it prevents people to cross areas. Not like a water floodgate, but a traffic floodgate. Let's say this area is really flooded.
From going into a flooded area, right?
It prevents people from going into an area where it's heavily flooded. It could be like a traffic floodgate. Like this interstate is really flooded.
Yeah, a traffic floodgate.
Yeah.
They don't want floods of traffic coming in or floods of traffic
because over
going
here,
out.
maybe the road is all flooded out.
Yeah, but is that what they're? Why didn't they just say it's a traffic stop gate? They're saying flood on purpose to be ambiguous.
I just the only thing I could think of.
Just like all governments.
Mm-hmm.
Obfuscation and ambiguity.
Mm-hmm. Hindsight.
Oh, yup.
Well, something in lieu with what you guys else was talking about is Palm Beach Pete. Have you guys heard of the guy?
You talking about Epstein?
Kinda.
No.
Depends.
Anytime you're saying Palm Beach. Yeah,
depends on who you're asking. This guy looks similar to Epstein. I'll show you some video clips. Half the world seems convinced it's Epstein. Half the world seems convinced it's not Epstein, because there are some differences in his facial structure and everything like that. Maybe personality and all that.
Plastic surgery.
Yeah, I'm wondering though if maybe it's just a product of plastic surgery. Is that what you just said, Elder?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Yeah, yeah. So plastic surgery, like what Elder said. Because the facial structure seems like it's only slightly different. And it's interesting, this guy's rich and he lives in about the same area. It's got to have that water, you know. Anyway, here's some clips of people comparing them side by side.
In fact, I'm still talking to the same person if I was at my home in Palm Beach. But I'm here in jail.
Home in Palm Beach.
I can dial my own phone.
That's bullshit. No, but you can also make 1,000 phone calls. Here you got to make one, and he's got to take.
Think how much better that was. I had to decide who was the right person to call. That was unusual for me, because I would have called 20 people.
And
before.
what was the advice you gave him?
I said, you have a sick patient, and it's very much like a sick patient in the emergency room. You can't think about it like your car. People.
Yes, I was at a restaurant just outside of Palm Beach, and the bartender wanted to take a photo of me. A bunch of Generation Zers were at a table. I went by their table, and I said, "You're talking about me, aren't you?" And they said, "You're the guy that went viral." I said, "That's me." So it's happening. I was at a restaurant today. A server came up and shook my hand and says, "Can I shake your hand?" So it's out there, Harvey. Back in the day, when I was living in the city, I went to a couple of parties, and Epstein was there at a party, and he was kind of creepy, just sitting on a couch, staying to himself. And he wasn't the magnitude that he is or was. So he wasn't a big deal. He was mysterious. People didn't know how he made his money and where what his story was. But
that's kind of crazy that you would admit that you actually have seen the real Jeffrey Epstein. You're at his parties. Like, we all know. There's no party like an Epstein party. And you're there. Doing what? It's like, yeah, that was before he got caught doing everything he's doing, of course. So it was before he got famous. I was one of the OG people up there with him. Anyway.
You know, I'm looking at it, and it doesn't have to be maybe he's just old.
Well, here's another video comparing.
How much would somebody have to legally pay you to change your name back to Jeffrey Epstein?
I would never change my name back.
Can I call you Jeff?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not him. Call me Peter, please. Thank you. I prefer Peter. That's my given name. By the way, where'd you get this suit? It's really smashing. Where'd you get that suit? Seriously? You're not gonna tell me? Okay.
And so, you're not Epstein?
Nah, I'm not Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete. I had my own life, and we made Palm Beach Pete an outgoing, fun guy.
And did you ever meet him?
Well, this seems kind of weird. Why would you have, if you have your own real life, why would you have to say, yeah, I had my own life? Like, why would you have to say that? Like, if you're not, if somebody's accusing me of being somebody else that I've never heard of, or maybe I heard of him, but that's not me. If I said, like, one of the things I'm going to tell them is not, yeah, look, I had my own life. It just sounds like a weird thing to say. I had my own life. And it seems like somebody cut and spliced this interview. They're just showing all the weird little slip-ups that he's saying. It's interesting. You guys can watch this back, and there's little things you catch here and there. It's like, why would, if you were really not Epstein, why would you say that? Anyway.
It's like, I'm looking at him in the eyes.
You are. You are. I actually have a twin.
You do?
I do. I have a twin brother.
Epstein?
Gary.
Gary?
Yeah.
Epstein?
You should have done a better job covering this all up.
Yeah, I should have. People thinking I'm Epstein, and I'm not, so I give it to a
But you are.
Okay.
How much would somebody have to legally pay you to...
You know, I'm thinking on a deeper level. This guy's probably not Epstein. But this is what the government would do. Because, you know, there's a whole bunch of doppelgangers out there. And if you want to continue the idea that Epstein really died, what you do is you put a bunch of, it's almost like the idea of, you know, Tupac and Biggie and Michael Jackson and everybody else who, and
they're all alive.
Yeah, like was the Graceland.
Oh, Elvis.
Elvis.
Yeah.
You have these people, and if you want the idea that they're dead, you'd get a bunch of fake people out there. So if the real guy's out there, you'd never know if the real guy's out there. So you just have a bunch of fake people out there. And you would make them popular. You give them a platform. So then the face gets assimilated in your mind. So then you'd never know if the real person's really out there.
Yeah, honestly, and like you said, if this guy's not the real guy, I don't feel bad for him. It seems like he's enjoying the publicity he's getting.
He's probably getting paid by the government.
That's what I'm saying. There is some kind of string he's getting from this, which is interesting. So to me, it seems like it's him, and he's doing this on purpose so he could show everybody, look, I'm not him. Like he's doing this hide in plain sight type psychology thing. I don't feel bad for the guy because he's obviously loaded. He lives on a beach, the same Palm Beach that Epstein did, of course.
He's got an island just like Epstein.
Yeah. He knows Epstein, or knew Epstein, of course. So he's had a wonderful, bountiful life. So even if he was getting any flack for looking like Epstein, it's like, well, first of all, you knew the guy, so you probably shouldn't have known the guy. It's just guilt by association. You actually had one of those Diddy parties. That itself says a lot. Anyway, here's another clip.
You think I'm Jeffrey Epstein? That's hilarious. Would I be parading around, taking a chance? I'm just Palm Beach Pete. I happen to look like the knucklehead. You think I'm Jeffrey Epstein? That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's stating the obvious. It's like, you really think Jeffrey Epstein would be doing this? You know, it's like, of course that's what the real guy would say. So you're not really helping your case here.
Here's all the evidence we have to confirm that Palm Beach Pete is actually Jeffrey Epstein. Starting off with the first and most obvious piece of evidence, that both of them look identical to each other. Here's a side-by-side picture of the both of them, and you literally cannot tell either of them apart. Next, the both of them literally have the same exact teeth. So as you can see right here, this is Jeffrey Epstein's bottom row of teeth. And then if we go ahead and look at Palm Beach Pete's bottom row of teeth, literally identical to Jeffrey Epstein's. Next, in a recent interview, it was actually revealed that Jeffrey Epstein and Palm Beach Pete actually lived in the same areas at the exact same time. So when Jeffrey Epstein was living in New York, so was Palm Beach Pete. And then when Jeffrey Epstein was living in Florida, so was Palm Beach Pete. And when this was brought up, Palm Beach Pete was literally trying to shush the interviewers. And then finally, every single day now, Palm Beach Beat is uploading videos onto social media saying that he is not Jeffrey Epstein. And in a lot of these videos, a lot of people feel like he's actually trying to gaslight us because he really is actually Jeffrey Epstein. Here's all the evidence we have to.
Why doesn't somebody just kidnap him and, waterboard him?
Are you stepping up to the challenge?
No, I would never do something like that.
Really?
Yeah, no, never. I've never harm another human being. And besides, it's torture, but it's not killing. Like, you're not going to kill him. You're just going to, give him a little incentive to tell the truth.
This last one was interesting. This last one is the last clip I'll play on the topic, but he's now, mocking, how there's this trend right now with everybody doing this documentary, me preparing for my documentary on this or that or whatever, and they have this music playing in the background and they sit in a chair. Okay, well, Palm Beach Pete does that.
All right, all jokes aside, though, is nobody going to point out that it's the exact same kitchen?
Yeah, so you can see this kitchen here with the real Jeffrey Epstein.
That is the exact same kitchen. It's not a green screen. Go look.
And when you look at this, that's the same kitchen that Palm Beach Pete has. So he's kind of incriminating himself. Now, maybe this is a green screen behind him. It does look kind of blurred out. I don't know, but part of his shirt is blurred out too, so that could just be a filter he's using on his phone or whatever camera he's using. I don't know. It's hard to tell. He is purposely trying to look like Epstein here on purpose, just to rage bait everybody, and talk about because he's even eating pizza too.
What better way to give your finger to society than to actually joke about looking like someone who you actually are?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big FU. It really is.
Well, I think anybody that looks like somebody controversial, they'd probably try to monetize it. Like if somebody looked like Michael Jackson, or somebody looked like Elvis, or somebody.
Oh, people do it all the time.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's natural to do that. It's just
he's already got money. Like this guy is already loaded. Apparently, he lived in New York when Epstein lived in New York, which means you have money, and he lived in Palm Beach the exact same time Jeffrey Epstein lived in Palm Beach, which means he's got a lot of money. Yeah. So he's already got money. What kind of money is TikTok gonna generate for him?
That's what I was saying.
Getting like 46,000 views. What kind of money is that going to get him?
In my mind, this is just an idea of assimilation and propagation. It's get a lot of people, get a lot of publicity of figures that look like this figure, so then nobody's shocked if they see the real figure. They'll just think it's another imitator.
Yeah. Hiding in plain sight.
But yeah, if you don't put out the doppelgangers, then everybody's like, oh, I seen Jeffrey Epstein. But you need to make it obvious that there's a lot of people that look like Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein's he's really dead. You're just seeing a bunch of copies, of doppelgangers.
Well, I will say his voice and his face are slightly different. So his voice, he could have taken practice. That's easy to change, especially with that kind of situation.
I'll say.
Yeah, and his face, if you got that kind of money, you can change that too.
No, it's just with age and things like that happens too, and naturally.
Yeah, but he does look different. He doesn't look like he's an older Jeffrey Epstein. He looks like, that is another interesting thing. He's the exact same age as Jeffrey Epstein too. Everything's the same, except for his face slightly is different. His teeth were the same though. That was another interesting thing.
That was weird.
Yeah, you would think like I could see it. The bottom row of his teeth anyway were perfectly the exact same as Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I don't know why, if he was going to get surgery, I don't know why he wouldn't get braces to fix that. That's what I would do too, because I already know people are going to go after my dental work.
Oh, are you convinced?
You
believe he is Jeffrey Epstein?
I'd say I'm 85% there.
How about you, Elder?
But I haven't done as much research as other people.
I think the most damning evidence in favor is the fact if you look at the pictures of Epstein before he was supposedly in prison, his neck is a little shorter than the photos after he was in prison. His neck is much longer. So I think that's really the best evidence we have that it's Jeffrey Epstein.
I just thought that was because he hung himself.
That was my joke, and yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to make a little sign to hold up. Humor. There you go.
I feel like you're being funny.
The only thing funny about me is my looks.
You know, if you take off your glasses, what do you look like?
Oh, wow. I might look too much like let's try it. What do you think? I can't see
he's
a
got
thing.
a beard and a mustache.
Yeah. Wait a second. Let me take these off. Hold on.
Whoa. Uncanny.
Yeah, I don't know who I look like, but there you go.
He's got a mouth on him.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, colleague. I think the audience is going to have to give us a vote on that. I think it is compelling, but at minimum, I think the government would definitely be doing that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see it in the comments if any, what the call is on that, yes or no.
I think more people are going to be outraged over our alleged ignorance over the Watergates, which you can't believe what the city says. Like we covered when the Hawaii fires were going on, and they put up these dust shields, and we covered that when that was going on, and that's what the Hawaii authorities were saying was, these chain link fences are to prevent dust from going into people's windshields, right? We actually the video we just released, it was an older video from 2023, but we released it a couple weeks ago. We talked about that. And you can't always believe what the authorities are telling you the purpose of a structure is. I feel like if you're on this show, you already know that. So try to think outside the buns with us and inside the taco for just a moment. Yes, we know.
I mean, there's two worlds, and I agree. There's the world they're trying to project, and there's reality. And I would say in the projection, they are floodgates. In reality, probably something much more nefarious.
Like zombie gates.
Precisely.
Excellent. Well, you guys tell us what you think in the comments. Is it a zombie gate? Is it a floodgate? Is it a fish gate? Or is it pizza gate? You let us know. And tell us, do you think that is Jeffrey Epstein? But that's all we have for this week's episode. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this. It's a time. It's a time of family. It's a time of community. But it's a time of time.
They're going to find out.
But as always, this fine gentleman right here, this is, that's, back to me. Colleague.
Let's colleague. Hey, colleague.